Good afternoon and welcome back to West Ham Irons United, your West Ham Daily. My name's Anton and I'm bringing you some transfer stories. The roundabout continues, the fairy tale continues. We're linked with every player under the sun. However, what we do is we're going to bring you some more detail about a particular player that we are linked to. But before we do that, please go and check out Russ's My Hammers 11 show that he's just completed. Thank you very much, Russ, for passing on that beautiful West Ham torch. And it was a good show. I watched a bit of it. I was working as well, setting up the show. But go across and check out My Hammers 11. Really good show and good daily content as well. And obviously he's got some of the ex-pros on there. I've put a link in the chat. But today's show is about reports that maybe David Moyes is going to bolster his defence ranks, and in particular is going to be looking at the centre-back position, with Fabian Balbuena, who's left West Ham on a free transfer, and Ogbonna and Dawson, who are the wrong side of 33 and 31 respectively. West Ham have been linked with moves to sign a whole host of centre-backs since the end of last season. And with the Euros on and Moyes taking up a technical role at UEFA, you wouldn't put it past him scouting quite a lot of players at the tournament. And one in particular Moyes is reportedly interesting in is a towering Croatian international, 24 years old, 6'4", Marseille defender Duje Caleta-Car. Is potentially available for around £20 million, 15 to £20 million, although that price could rise depending on his performances during the Euros. What we'll do is let's go and take a little look at his early career before we then start to digress exactly everything about him and the type of player he would look like if he came to West Ham. That value is based upon transfer market's valuation, and I've said anything between 15 to 20 plus, and depending on how his tournament will look, could be that his value would go up. Croatia aren't looking fantastic so far during the Euros competitions, but we do know, and I'm going to talk you through a bit of Caleta-Car's career so far. And in 33 League One appearances for Marseille last season, he scored 2 goals and registered 1 assist. But in those outings, he averaged 0.9 tackles, 1.3 interceptions, 3.9 clearances per game. And he also won, on average, 2.5 aerial duels per match. So, you know, he's a kind of no-nonsense centre-half. And I think we know that David Moyes is going to be out in the market looking for a defender, because I've mentioned to you the likes of Balbuena's gone, Ogbonna, Dawson are aging. We've got Winston Reid in the ranks. I think we're going to rely heavily on a lot of the youth players coming through the ranks as well. But, you know, Caleta-Car, he began his footballing career in his hometown club, HNK Cybernik, before moving to Austria to continue his development, and he joined FC Pasching, a team in Austria's lower leagues, but before leaving after a year to join the biggest club in the nation, Red Bull Salzburg. So rising from the Red Bull Academy, a modern warrior-like centre-back emerged from the dust, a player with a rugged style typical of Eastern European defenders, but who also boasts the necessary characteristics to succeed in modern football. The Croatian left Salzburg in the summer of 2018 for Marseille for a fee of €19 million, joining on a 5-year deal. But after a shaky start to his time in France, he has shaken off what you could say, those cobwebs. His footballing style is accustomed to playing far away from the penalty box in a high line. Salzburg, when he played for them, pressed high and took risks on the ball, and they needed a centre-back like Caleta-Car with long strides and quick recoveries to compensate for those risks. And each collision and each physical duel, he establishes himself as a clear winner. Like I said, no nonsense defender. Last but certainly not least, he guards the penalty box like a soldier. He imposes himself in the air, whether it's his box or the opposition's box. Whilst he isn't the quickest of defender, he's still got a sufficient acceleration that allows him to recover lost ground quickly, and he doesn't hesitate to go to ground when he needs to, boasting nearly 6 clearances per game, which often results in Marseille breaking on the counter. But not all the aspects of his career are positive. He does sometimes make rash decisions. At times, he commits unnecessary fouls and picking up unnecessary bookings as a result. His speed is very reactive, and this can play tricks on him if he doesn't not improve his timing of his tackles. He's a complete centre-back, though, both inside and outside the box. He's gone from kind of zero to hero at Marseille, and he's already attracting quite a lot of interest from European clubs. And rumours are that Marseille will need to sell due to their financial fair play problems. So what do you see a player like his value at? Get your comments in and let me know. I mean, listen, I'm not going to make it. I've never really hidden the fact when it comes to players like Caleta-Car, or even West Ham's defence, that we need to strengthen in that area. And I know we've got players there that, Ogbonna stepping up to the mark. And all I will say about Ogbonna is it's about time for me personally that he stepped up to the mark, and he has been one of our best defenders over the last season and a half. But we do have an ageing defence, and we need to strengthen in that role. And Moyes has definitely made it clear that he's going to be looking at a centre back. You're hearing rumours about Tarkovsky. You're hearing rumours about Caleta-Car. Does Moyes have the faith in the youth setup to allow players like Alessi and Baptiste to step up and offer that support in that position? I'm not so sure, but he's definitely made it clear that he's going to be looking for a player to come in and try and challenge those starting defenders. I mean, you've got Diop as well. You're hearing rumours today about other clubs that are interested in Issa Diop, but does Issa Diop have a future at West Ham? And I don't think that Moyes really wants to sell many players, if I'm being brutally honest, this summer. I think he'll happily sell players if they just don't want to play for the club. However, if they're happy to be at the club, I think David Moyes will look to keep as many players as he possibly can. And people may say to me, but you can get 15, 20 million or 10 million or whatever for the likes of Yarmolenko. You could potentially get 10 million for Felipe Anderson, but we're playing 50 plus professional first team football games next year, which also includes the Europa League. And we're going to need players coming out of our ears. So we're going to need players that have got a history of playing in these competitions, and they've played in Europa League, etc. If you're bringing in a player like Caleta-Car, you've got a player whose career at Red Bull Salzburg, in 4 years played 130 games, scoring 4 goals, but his honours at the club, 4 Austrian Bundesliga titles and 3 Austrian Cup titles. And you can't remotely deny that that's not something that would add value to our squad. Of course, he went to Marseille and his contract expires in 2023, hence the valuation they're saying around £22 million. What would you play for a player like Caleta-Car's stature? He's a big, strong centre half, 6'4". I think that would make him the tallest centre half alongside Issa Diop in our side. But like I said, he's a no nonsense defender. He does play a high line. But my then concern I've got about another defender coming in to play a high line is so does Ogbonna and so does Diop, and we don't have anyone that sits that little further back. The likes of the Craig Dawson, the likes of Winston Reid when he was on form at West Ham. So I don't know. I can potentially see this one trying to get over the line. He's not been starting every single game for Croatia during the Euros, but he's definitely a talent there, 24 years old. He's potentially one for the future. You bring him in for, say, something like 20 plus £million. If it doesn't work out, can you sell on and generate that income back? I don't know. Let's go and see what people are saying in the comments. Charlie Plays, really nice to see you, mate. Thank you very much for joining us. I know I've not really been around the past kind of week or so, I think it is. I know Stell's been doing a lot of videos, but I'm back. Obviously, don't worry about that. We'll be bringing you some content, hopefully a little bit later on. We're contemplating either doing a preview for the game today and or maybe doing a watch-along. I've not done any watch-alongs actually through this tournament. It's actually been nice to have a bit of a breather and enjoying the tournament. But we'll see. We'll see what we're going to do, and we'll let you know as the day goes on. Freshfielder, I hope you're well. Thank you for joining us, mate. How are the best people on the internet? We're good. Thank you very much, Toby. Hope you are well. Yes, Russ, you did set them up, and yes, we did knock them down. Hope you're well. Peach, Phone's still broken, mate. Don't worry, I will come back to you. I'm trying to get back onto the WhatsApp, so don't worry about that. Hope you're well, Peach. Stu, good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Henry Richards, afternoon. Hope you're well as well. Thank you for joining us. Stu77, don't forget to shout out the sponsors. I still can't be bothered. I know, mate. We're actually waiting on them coming back to us and letting us know what this week's competition is. I don't actually know if there is a West Ham competition this week, but we'll keep you in the loop. Hi, Anton. How are you? Who is this 19-year-old from Celtic we're supposed to sign imminently? Listen, I haven't actually seen who it is that we're looking at bringing in, but I will do something if we are looking at bringing someone in imminently. Are we looking at bringing in someone from Celtic imminently? I mean, it looks like West Ham are going around trying to sign up the best young talent that's available, so it'll be interesting to see, but I've not seen anything regarding that. So I'm just checking now while we're on live. Yes, that is what we do. We check that on, but I can't see anything there just now. No. You're all talking to each other, which is really cool. Church music, yeah. Do you like it? Yep. Hi, Peach. How are you? Good. God, you're all talking to each other, and I love it. Armstrong Okaflex from. Do you know him, Armstrong? I don't know if you're taking the. Are you taking the mic there, Gary? Are you? I don't know. Let's have a look and see. Okay, let's see here. So I'll need to check it out, actually. Yep, I've not looked into him, mate, so I'll need to check that one out. I like Duje Caleta-Car. He's not quite a Jaguar. He's a no-nonsense defender, fresh fielder, mate. So, yeah, I think it's someone I can see why Moyes would be looking at. I think Moyes will be disappointed at his potential game time at the Euros so far, but it would be interesting to see if we could actually get something like that through the line. However, we do know that we are looking at bringing in a defender, especially a centre-half. And the question I'll ask to you is, Tarkovsky or Caleta-Car? Tarkovsky's rumoured to be £30+ million. Caleta-Car valued currently at about £20-25 million. Who would you like? Player that's got Premier League experience to a player that's not got Premier League experience. However, a player that's won many trophies in different leagues compared to a player that's not won any trophies in many leagues. What's your kind of favoured player if you had to choose between the likes of the two of them? Toby, but Anton, what odds would you give us on signing him? Realistically, I think he's up there. I'm being brutally honest with all the kind of information that we get. I think he is up there as one of the potentially top players that he may be looking at. Do I see us getting this over the line? I think that I'm going to put money on saying no. I don't think Caleta-Car will be a West Ham player. I think he is linked with us. I think we are interested in him, but do I think he's going to add value to that area that we need? And I don't think he is the sort of defender we need, to be honest. So not for me. All good in the hood. Thank you very much. Freshfielder Moyes was at the Ukraine-Austria game yesterday. Absolutely, mate. And like I said, he's doing his kind of UEFA technical support. So it's really good. Sorry, David. David, hope you're well, mate. If Diop goes, we could go for it. Otherwise, give Alves Ibsen a chance. Yeah. And listen, the thing is, will Diop leave the club? The only way footballers are leaving West Ham this summer is if they want to leave the club. Moyes won't get rid of players unless because we need that squad. We need that strong squad. And, you know, we've got more games to play. It's like, I know Still talks about Lanzini going. I know he talks about Yarmolenko going, etc. But we need strength and depth. And I know you're talking about Alves as well, giving a shot. And I think we might see a bit of him as well. But it'll be interesting to see. It will be interesting summer, to be honest. If someone offers good money for Diop, then take it. I think that's easier said than done. But I'm not sure that Moyes will take the money. What is good money for Diop? Is £30 million as well? I don't know. Toby, have I been on a diet? Jawline is looking chiseled. Let's see if you'd have heard my wife, she actually just giggled under her breath and laughed out loud. No, I think it's just the way that the beard has been chiseled in. It makes it look like I have, but no, mate, I've not. I do need to try and do it. We have bigger issues up top, I reckon. Yeah, I think we do. I think there's no ifs or buts about it. We need to strengthen in many positions, depending on what fan you speak to. Some people are saying we need to strengthen in maybe the left back position. I'm saying the centre back position. I've said the centre back position for such a long time. It's always been pivotal that we strengthen in that position, because I feel like we've conceded a lot of goals. And if you see the goals we conceded near the end of the season, and in particular all the previous seasons, then that's exactly where we do need to strengthen. We need a defender to come in and actually take control of that back area. Do we have a controlling centre half? No, but what I find interesting is since lockdown has been in and the teams have been playing behind closed doors, you're hearing more and more and more about Ogbonna coming through and screaming and trying to demand through the back. But he was never that player when he first came to the club. That player was always Winston Reid. That's where my love for Winston Reid started, because it was always a commanding, clever centre half who could read the game really well. We don't really have a reader of the game at defence except for really the likes of Craig Dawson. So it'll be an interesting one. How many more players are we going to be tagged with? I will believe it if it happens. Stephen, yeah, you're right, mate. And we're not trying to say to you that this player is coming in. If you watch Stell's West Ham Weekly, if you watch our transfer shows every couple of days, etc., you want to get by, you can go by. No, you don't need to. It's fine. We're live. It's fine. People know this is live. This is what happens. Go and have our lunch outside because we're getting some nice weather today. Stephen, bear with us as well. We're not saying we're definitely going to sign the player. What we're trying to do is look at all their information and see if do they fit the regime of what David Moyes is trying to build at West Ham. And do I see him being a player we could look at? Yes. Do I think we'll get him over the line? No. Why? Because I think there maybe are better suited centre halves that West Ham could be looking at rather than Caleta-Car, because he is a no-nonsense defender. He does play in a high line, and I think we've got plenty of defenders that do that right now. Will he add value in that role? I think Issa Diop was supposed to be that forward-thinking step. He was a stepping out defender, and I just don't think we need another stepping out defender, if I'm being really honest. Guy Rutter, that's his name, Anton. No, wind up. No, I've just looked him up there, and I can see some stuff coming up. So I'll have a look into him for you. Actually, maybe bring something to you soon. I'm not worried. I trust the manager. Absolutely, mate, David. I really do. You tell me right now what clubs are signing players left, right, and centre. No one is. We know we need to strengthen. Moyes is out there doing the work he needs to do. He'll be scouting players. If he sees anyone he likes, then yeah, he should go for him. There are a couple of players that I've seen in the tournament that I think I actually really like the looks of. Isaac from Sweden, I've mentioned it last week, and the boy from Finland. I actually think they would really fit West Ham's setup, and actually might bring you a video on those two players in particular. Father Snowman, hope you're well. Thank you for joining us. Freshfielder, if Moyes wants Tarkovsky, good. Same goes for Caleta-Car. He knew what he wanted in Dawson, so whoever he chooses, I'm going along with. Absolutely, mate. But I think if you ask me the question, do I think we'll get this one over the line? No, if I'm being brutally honest, because I think there are better suited defenders out there. John Flores, why would Diop go? No reason to. Only players will go is Anderson and Balbuena. That's it. You said you need to keep the chemistry together with how we performed. Absolutely. But I mean, when it comes to Anderson, I'm not so sure, John, because I think he needs an arm around him. I think he needs a manager and a coach that will come in and put his arm around the player and try and bring the best out of what we signed him for. We've had a good season out of him before, and things took a turn for the worse. There's rumours kicking about that his personal life had a big impact on him, and that's what happens. And who's the manager that you would want to sign a player who's got problems or previous problems in their personal life? David Moyes. Look what he's done with Jesse Lingard. Look what he has done with Jesse Lingard. He's turned the player's career around in abundance. The boy wasn't anywhere near the Euro squad, and questionably should have been taken for England in the Euros. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Reid, Anton, I genuinely think he's going to force his way back next year. Right, so I love him. I do. I think he's great. I think he's been a fantastic servant for the club. Do I think he's still got a future at the club? He played games for Brentford. He done really well. I don't want to fall into the trap of what other fans are hoping for, but do I think he's capable on his day? I think he's capable of coming in and being a backup right now, because I don't know what his fitness levels are. So it'll be interesting. But listen, when you've got a centre half with his ability, yes, albeit bad injuries, I think he'll add value. It's just whether or not he's not been in and around the squad for a while now. So will he have such an impact? I don't know. Will we be looking to get rid of him? I don't know. It's going to be again another interesting summer. Is Mrs. Baker a patriotic jock? She's not, mate. She is not at all. She follows suit with me. Johnson, Tarkovsky, Krall, Lingard, Armstrong, and Arnie. How many of these? Hopefully all wealth sales. Listen. Krall I've not been impressed with so far, but it's the Euros. That doesn't mean that he's not a good player. Don't think Arnie's going to happen now, especially after what happened in the Euro competition. But out of all those names, realistically, our number one target for this summer, straight away, very quickly, has got to get Lingard over the line, if I'm being brutally honest. A lot of people are saying, absolutely not, don't worry about Lingard, we can go and concentrate on other players that are out there. But for me, for what he's brought to West Ham, the impact he's made, and potentially what he could bring in terms of other signings coming in as well, then it's a no-brainer for him. How about Lanzini has as well? I don't think he'll go, mate. I really don't. I think he'll actually really suit the Europa League style of football, and I think he's going to get some game time, and something like the Europa League could be vital for Lanzini's career. To be honest, it could revitalise his career as well. David M, yeah, absolutely. End of the day, trust Moyes, who he chooses. I completely agree with you. Absolutely. Fremer, I see your point about lack of quality at the back, Anton, but in my opinion, we were weak in defence also because we were more attacking than ever last season. Yeah, but Fremer, I've said it before, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but we have conceded a lot of goals in consecutive seasons. We've always had to really massively outscore the opposition. So it's a little bit like sometimes we turn up to games and fully expect to concede 2 goals and score 3. And I know people say that's an enjoyment of a football match, but when you're a West Ham fan, how many more times do we have to go through those pains? And for me, we've never replaced Winston Reid. Never. And when you had Winston Reid and Ogbonna, and even in the last season at Upton Park, I think we conceded 60 goals or late 50s of goals. That's a lot of goals to concede for a team that finished 6th, 7th place, I think it was. Obviously, we let the season go for the Champions League come the end of the season, but still a lot of goals to concede. We had to rely on outscoring the opposition all the time, and we've been doing it now for several seasons. And people can then say to me, but through West Ham's lifetime, we have always conceded goals. But if Moyes is coming in trying to build something, he's going to try and nullify that threat. He needs to nullify that threat. We did so well at the start of the season with not conceding goals. Come the end of the season, we were starting to give quite a lot of goals away, and we definitely need to do that. And I think we just lack that replacement defender. Alves looks like he's a kind of Winston Reid type player. Winston Reid in terms of he reads the game well, he times a tackle very well, and he's a ball playing centre half. And that's not taking anything away from Ogbonna, but they're different types of defenders. Ogbonna gets stuck in, throws himself, blocks, throws his head at tackles, steps out, but you need that defender to step in behind in case it's to sweep up any of the problems. David Trevitt, forget the arm around Anderson, swift kick in to man up. I don't know, mate. I don't know if that's what David Moyes does. Did he do that to Lingard or did he kick him up the nuts? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what he does. Gary Trotter, Moyes wants to keep Lanzini, but his Lanzini looking to move. We underestimate, see, as a nation as well, I think we underestimate players that come from abroad from good weather. And I think we totally underestimate, they want to come to the Premier League, but if you're coming onto your late 20s, early 30s, and a club, say, from Spain or from Argentina or from wherever part of the world where you're going to get beautiful weather comes in and either matches your salary and you may be playing in a different league or a lower quality league, etc. I think we underestimate the weather. I think a lot of players will look at that and go, well, I'm going to Italy, I'm going to go to Spain because I'm going to get 6 to 7 months worth of sun. And I'm going to come to the UK. And you've seen again the other night, Wembley, England v Scotland, with the pouring rain coming down. And that doesn't, obviously, we know ourselves. You always get bad weather everywhere you go. But I think we underestimate that weather plays a key part in players' decisions and what they're going to do. So Lanzini might be on his holidays right now because he is. I think he was in Gibraltar. I think he's got married to his missus when he was somewhere else as well. I don't know if he's going back to Argentina. I don't know what the COVID rules are there. But he's every picture he posts online is he's out in the sun. Same with Felipe Anderson, and I think that has a positive impact on those players. But we'll see. Do you think with Antonio going off with Jamaica, that whatever comes up up top will go straight into the team fresh fielder? I know Still done a little piece on Antonio moving into the Jamaican international squad, and he's concerned about what happens with Antonio's hamstring injuries and will it have an impact on West Ham. I think it's a good move for Antonio. I think international football at any level is great for the players. It's what they always strive to achieve. And it's now down to West Ham to manage it. There's no way of stopping players from doing it. If it brings them up and gets them catapulted and plays against big teams, etc. I don't know. It's an interesting one. The lad wants to play international football. We've just got to let him do it. And he's been West Ham's saving grace for how many seasons now? 4 or 5 seasons. So it's the least we can do is not really moan at him for going to Jamaica. I get it. I know we need our main striker, but there's 50 plus games for Fielder, and he's going to play a part, key part, 20 plus games next season, as are most players that's in our squad. More games than have ever been offered around. Yeah, but Anton Dawson was our fourth choice at the start of the season. He was, mate. I completely agree with you. He really was, and he came in to shore up that defence. But he's the ball watching defender. He can read the game well. And I know some people slagged him off coming to the end of the last season, but when he first came into the team, he was the kind of he stuck in behind Ogbonna, or he stuck in behind Diop, and he watched and that, you know. Balbuena obviously wanted to leave the club, not for negative reasons, probably to get closer to home, etc. And the hate and everything I've just said there. But I think Balbuena was also a similar type defender. That's why if you're losing the likes of Balbuena and you've only got Dawson as your ball watching, not ball watcher, your good ball reader and good game reader and good tackler and can time a tackle really well. Does that really fit in the Caleta-Car style of player to come in and take over that position? Not for me. But he is a player that we're interested in, and obviously David Moyes is looking at. It's just the fact he's a no-nonsense defender. But then maybe he is looking at a no-nonsense defender because Ogbonna is at the agent side and Dawson is at the agent side, and maybe he may look at two. We don't know. We'll see. Vinay, should Antonio and Yarmo run less? Maybe Moyes' demands on them should be realistic. But then look at what Moyes has done this season for West Ham. And Antonio made the clear point after a game when he said that the minute the manager came in, he said, look at the running stats for the team. And he's changed them, absolutely changed them dramatically. And that's what's happened with West Ham. So, yeah, there is an argument for players that come in that don't need to run and you don't want them to track back. I get that. I absolutely get that. And I think that could work for Antonio, if I'm being brutally honest, and possibly for Yarmolenko as well. I'd done a video a couple of weeks ago about Yarmolenko, actually, about the impact of having a good Euros and what that could do for the likes of West Ham. And if Yarmolenko wants to stay at West Ham, would that do West Ham wonders? I think it will. People say that you can have a good tournament, you can go to a club, but he's at the club, so a good tournament could just reignite his career again. And if he can go through a season of not picking up an injury, will Yarmolenko add value to West Ham? Absolutely. Does he have the legs? No. Is he tricky? Yes. And will that add value to what we can do? Absolutely. You can see what he can do at the highest level. Reid is 32, so can come back in if he regains his fitness. Hope he does. He has a mentality and innate leadership skills that go above physicality. I completely agree with you, and I want him to. I just hope he can, and I hope Moyes has a little bit of faith in what he can do. Do we take Europa above mid-table finish? Well, here's the question to you. What would you see as a positive season for West Ham? Europa League quarterfinals, semi-finals? Are you taking just the finals straight up? And then would you justify why we'd finish mid-table in the league? What would you be happy with? Let me know. Defo Strife and Reid is a hammer through and through, a club legend over the last decade, mate. Yep, questionably, not even questionably for me, the last decade, our best centre or best defender we've had. That's definitely for me. Don't know who that is. There's rumours we want. I don't know who. Let's see what else we're saying here. Don't want Tarkovsky. We weren't good enough for him last time. I don't think he's good enough for us now. I think my biggest concern about Tarkovsky is the asking price that Burnley are looking for. To be honest, I don't know if we'll actually know 100%, well, did he want to come to the club or not? But we'll see. We'll see. David, put a like on the video, mate, but I'd like Gold Mug more. Well, listen, going to be big changes coming up to the channel soon. We keep alluding to it. We've got a few things in the mindset of what we're going to do, launched for the new season. So bear with us. We're going to have a little bit more merchandise as well. People keep asking it for us. David, I know you're looking for a black mug with the gold logo, all that sort of stuff. But we will we will come on to you with more stuff there. Gary Rutter, Anton, how are Scotland going to do tonight? I don't know, mate, because I don't support Scotland, but I think they'll struggle, if I'm being brutally honest, because I think Croatia will turn up tonight, to be honest. And it'll be an interesting one. You're all talking to each other. We need to sign Mr. Miyagi to keep Antonio fit. Absolutely. Is this true from David M? Most West Ham players in a tournament match since 6-6 final. Souček Soufal versus Rice. Any thoughts, Anton? For the game tonight, England, Czech Republic, it's going to be a good test. Both teams have qualified, so there's no pressure on both of them. And now that Mason Mount and Chilwell are out, that maybe allows Southgate to do what we want to do, which is play a bit more attacking football, free-flowing football, be less defensive, be less cautious, and that's exactly what England need, because I don't know what you feel like, but the last two games have been boring. And I remember watching the Croatia game, and at one point I was sitting outside our back door, had the foot telly sitting right here, had my dad with me as well, and the sun was catching me, and I was nearly falling asleep. If I was at the stadium, I probably felt the same. And I don't normally do that at football matches, but the games have been not so great, really, for an England fan, and we're lacking that va-va-voom, you could say. Fo, hope you're well. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you. Second place in the league, Europa winners, and FA Cup finalists. That'll do me. Toby, you're not asking for much, mate, are you? Wow. Jesus, Antonio's teasing me with the Lanzini shirt. Do you like it? It's cool, isn't it? Although, I'm going to tell you a quick story about this. My daughter, who's 2, she turns 3 in July. She keeps coming in. She keeps going. She instead of saying draw, she says droff. I want to droff on something. And she's like, Mila, her name's Mila. She's like, can I droff on that top? And I'm like, no. The thing is, we've got a settee here, so she could in theory stand on it and draw on it, but we're just trying to take her mind off the fact that it's got a signature on it as well. So yeah, I won't be doing that. I will not be doing that. Hello, mate. Linda, good to see you. Toby, hoodies. I swear we are going to be working on this over the next month before the season starts. We are coming to you soon with a whole new selection of things, so don't you worry. Quarters in Europa to aim would be a success. Don't see us winning it, but over 2 legs it will give us a chance. It will. Cool. Whose birthday was it? Foshizi. Oh, happy birthday, Fo. Hope you're well, mate. Good to see you. Vinay N. Tarkovsky was probably here in the chat a year ago calling Moyes a dinosaur, and now he's changed his mind, just like many West Ham fans. What a valid point, mate. What a valid point. We need some West Ham. Yep, absolutely. Anyone seen Southgate smile or joke in press conferences? Nope, I've not. Frame that shirt, Anton, before it gets dropped all over. Well, and I'm not going to allow her to, because I'm based here pretty much most of my day for working and obviously doing the West Ham content. But that brings an end to today's video. Let me know your thoughts on Caleta-Car. I hope you liked the little video we put together, giving you some information on his career. And do I see this one coming over the line? No. Why? Because, like I said, he's a no-nonsense defender. Will he add value? Yes. But will he bring in more... I don't know, will he change things for our defensive duties? I am not too sure, to be honest. So it'll be an interesting one to see how that one transpires. What we've got coming up, though, is we might be doing a preview, we might be doing a watch-along, but tonight and for the rest of the week, I'm going to ask you to tune in to West Ham United at 11 o'clock, 11 p.m. for the next 4 nights, I believe, because Alpha's bringing back his West Ham Confidential show. So that's going to be launching 11 o'clock tonight for the rest of the week to Friday. So make sure you go and check it out. Hit the like button, subscribe and comment, and come on, you Irons, and come on, England.